In a dystopian alternate universe, the government has decided that all premarital sex is now outlawed. However, under purge-like circumstances, the singles are allowed to mingle annually for 12 hours on one night only. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater.
Does that involve like
Bye guys.
All right, this is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing One Night Only, written by Travis Braun, directed by Will Gluck, starring Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner, Maya Hawke, Julia Fox, King Princess, Ben Marshall, Ziwe, Molly Ringwald, Este Hyam, and Levar Burton. Per usual, for a complete cast listing of the cast and crew, you can check out the link in our show notes. I am not here alone today. I am here with
Jonquilyn Hill.
fan favorite Jonquilyn Hill. I've heard at least one fan that says that you're their favorite.
Oh my gosh. One person said it, so it technically counts.
And there was somebody in the Patreon too, so they're like really leveraged on this.
Oh my gosh, I'm sensing a pattern.
What's the pattern?
People like me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a pattern. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, One Night Only. This is a romantic comedy set in New York City in a dystopian future or present.
It could go either way. Like it, and we'll get to it. I do think it has something to say.
In a dystopian alternate universe in which sex before marriage is outlawed, except for one night exemption from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It is the purge, but it is sex. And that is the premise. These two young people are out trying to also get some of that sex for themselves, and they end up on a night-long adventure of crossing paths over and over again, wondering why they keep ending up unlucky in love. Jonquilyn Hill, what did you think of this? You're copying the band. Jonquilyn Hill, what did you think of this movie?
I really enjoyed this. This is kind of the rom-com I think I've been itching for a while. It is the 2020s answer to the rom-com. I feel like it falls in line with your New Year's Day, your Valentine's Day, those sort of ensemble movies. Even though this is not an ensemble, there are 2 stars. There are lots of cameos. There's lots of who's that? There's a lot of product placement. I'm like, oh, you want me to buy things. There are things you would like me to purchase. Y'all paid for this movie with
KY Jelly and Durex.
Yes. They said, we're a pair and we are going to get it on this. But at the same time, it was really fun. It was really enjoyable. I was skeptical of the premise at first going in, but it worked. Like, they did it in a way that worked. That didn't, I mean, all rom-coms are a little corny, a little cheesy, but I think love is inherently corny and cheesy. And so it really worked for me. I enjoyed this. I had a fun time. Would you call it a romp?
I don't know if I would call it a romp, but I really loved this movie. I had a really good time. Now I'm questioning on what my definition of a romp is, but I had a good time from the beginning to end. I like the music. I like the setting in New York. Granted, I am a sucker for movies set in New York, and now that I've spent a lot more time in New York, I think this is one of the better depictions of being in New York. One of the better depictions. I'm not saying the best. I know there's New Yorkers that are going to watch this like, what are you talking about? You can't get across town and like, yes, I know all that's true, but just showing the little bits of it it was very fun. The setting and place. I thought Callum Turner and Monica Barbaro, who is my new celebrity crush, I loved her so much. She's very charming. I think she's charming enough for the both of them, but I also think that Callum Turner played the role that he was playing very, very well. I thought that, I don't know, they worked well together. Callum Turner was doing more of I'm a focused man. I have goals. I have ambitions. I'm going in a certain direction. This is how I want my life to be. And Monica Barbaro is more disillusioned with her life. She wants more. She's a dreamer. She's a creative, but she wants to fall in love. She wants romance. And both of them are arriving at the conclusion that they want to have sex on this night, but for both of them, they didn't want it to be meaningless until meaningless sex is kind of forced upon them, and not in a non-consensual way, but more in a circumstantial way. Which I don't know. I thought it worked in terms of moving the plot along.
Yeah, I think one, I understand why Dua Lipa married Callum Turner. I'm like, I see how this happened. It was a little bit. I'm like, these people can't get laid. Are we sure? Are we it's looking like a skill issue, because this should not be a problem. I found myself thinking, okay, what is the politics of this movie? And it very much has something to say about our current political climate that we're in. It has a lot to say. It's kind of winking at the falling birth rate a little.
Yes.
It's really like, and we're going to get policies to do that. Now, this is a policy that I think would have the opposite effect, but it gets at that at the same time as it's like, hey, let people do what they want. We'll do what they want. Pro-sex. It's very much like, but it can be meaningful. Like, it's also a critique of hookup culture. And normally critiques of hookup culture make me roll my eyes, because I feel like you should be able to do what you want. But it kind of like, hey, what if you don't want to do this? Something that I thought was interesting and appreciated is how little the internet showed up.
Okay, now that you say that, I'm realizing, yeah. I mean, it shows up, there's an app form at one point, and then I can't think of another time that it was really in there.
Yeah, they're all talking to each other in person. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, if this was the universe we lived in, I would have been on the app days ago and been like, hey, like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it would have been like, okay, and we're swiping and we're talking and we're swiping and what are we doing? Like, and it really didn't do that. It really was like, no, these people are meeting in real life. People are going off chemistry. They don't one girl left her phone at home. Like, I thought that was really interesting, how it took the internet and phones out of the equation in a way that didn't feel like, oh, this isn't happening now. It spoke to how people, when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to sex, we're kind of tired of the apps. I think it got at that.
I like this movie because I like anything that is basically a commentary on our present dating lives now, but set in kind of a dystopian or futuristic way. And I think what this does well is exactly what you said about the hookup culture, which is, it is saying essentially society seems to be forcing us in a direction. And there are quite a few people that are either resigned to their fate of going in that direction, which in this case is having the night of sex and, like kind of throwing caution to the wind, doing what they have to do. And there's some people who are just like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't really want to. I don't necessarily want to do this thing that everyone says that I have to do. And in some cases, that is the relationship escalator to marriage, kids, house. And in other cases, it's hookup culture. And I feel like what this movie does well is strike a balance between the two of those things, because they did show all of these people getting wild about to hook up. And in another case, they show a couple of people who are happily married, or there's some indications that people are happily married and not really worried about hooking up on this night. But then I like when they deal with the grappling of people who say, do we have to do this though? Mm-hmm. Like we weren't responsible for whatever caused this policy, and now we're kind of thrown into these circumstances that don't really, they don't really, we don't want to be a part of this. We didn't ask for this. They're just thrust upon us, and we're participating because maybe we want to, or maybe we don't have any other choice. Maybe we don't feel like we have any other choice. And I like a movie that does that, because that's what I feel like dating is right now. Mm-hmm. I feel like the apps you are either forced onto an app, or you're like forced to go out to the party so you can meet people and seem like you're being social, when the truth is we just want to meet our person while doing the things that we already do, and hoping that they have a life similar to ours, and settle in that way. That would be the nicest way. And that's kind of what happens in this film.
Yeah, it was like, oh dang, meet cutes. Like everyone had a meet cute. Like whether it was people like, oh, I'm going out with my friends tonight, met them in line for the bathroom, we're gonna, like, oh, we were out and about, like, oh, we were at a party. Like, meet cutes are happening, and I think the world is thirsty for meet cutes. One other thing that I appreciated, which was very realistic, was the way there's a scene where someone is eating soup dumplings, and I'm like, yeah, that happens when you eat soup dumplings.
Correct.
Like
the fall apart.
Yeah, like sorry, I'm great with chopsticks, but this is gonna happen with soup dumplings.
Yeah, agreed. I thought it was very realistic in that regard. Do you think, I'm wondering, in case of the hooking, I'm sorry, now I'm thinking about soup dumplings. Do you think, with regard to, especially when it comes to hookup culture, dating, all of that, do you think that this movie pro-sex or anti-sex? Where did you feel like it actually fell?
Okay, I think that's interesting, because there's a moment towards the end that made me think, is this a promise ring ass movie? Is this are we doing purity? Are we doing purity culture? And as someone who, I mean, I don't have to tell you, grew up in church and during the Bush years.
Yeah.
A lot of abstinence education, literally in public school.
Wow.
And so there was a moment where it's like, what are you saying? But I think the movie is pro, hey, you should do what you want to do in happy, healthy, and safe ways.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really what it comes down to. Like, we have elders getting very interesting. There's one person where it's like, ooh, is this going to be like, hey, don't run off with that guy, see what happens? And it's like, no, it actually ended up fine. And like, I'm having a great time, and this is exactly what I wanted. We're doing what we're doing. And then there are other people who are like, well, yeah, I like you, but I don't want to rush this. I kind of want to like get to know you and date for real and see what happens. And all right, if we got to wait a year, we got to wait a year. So I think it was, on the way out of the movie, I did have a moment like, is this anti-sex? Is this, and I don't think it falls in the line of like anti-ARPRO. I think it's very much do what you want. And I'm just not used to takes that nuanced anymore.
I agree. I think it's very nuanced. I think this movie is pro-nuance, which is good. I think it doesn't fall firmly on one side or the other. I think it sticks to the rules of romance in terms of its leads, and saying, well, these two people are falling in love and they're having some hesitations about their other connections, which is a very real thing that you don't often see depicted, saying, I could hook up with other people. I could, but I kind of don't want to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have this opportunity, but maybe, and it doesn't happen. And I'm kind of glad that it didn't, because I still kind of like this person and I would rather put my energy into them. Yeah.
I don't know if you go through this, but like as a person who is out on the apps, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm going to swipe, I'm going to go on dates. And other times I'm like, yeah, I want to find someone, but I just don't feel like doing this, and I'm not going to do it if my heart's not in it. I think it's very much like, don't do it if your heart's not in it.
I absolutely agree.
I think it's also, the movie is also just like, that's a great lesson. However, the movie, it's also like capitalism. Oh, like subway signs, every business featured in it acknowledges it. They're like, oh yeah, we would totally do an ad campaign for that. And that is also dystopian, where it's just like, well, America runs every night and the one night, like, want to get fluent in Spanish and love?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's very much like that. At the same time, they kind of an underlying plot line is them making fun of that shameless capitalism.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's a wink and a nod. It's a wink and a nod to be like, yeah, we know.
It's savvy in the way that it incorporates advertising into the film itself, but also the advertising is a bit of a plot device that kind of is good for world building, if you will, in a way that I enjoyed. I thought was good. With all of that being said, here on Leaving the Theater, we rate movies out of 5 stars. I think you know the rating system well. 3 means you'd see it again. 5 means perfect, satisfying. 1, hated it. 2, didn't like it. 4, loved it. Jonquilyn Hill, what do you rate this movie out of 5 stars?
I'm a solid 4. When the movie was ending, I texted several group chats where I was like, hey, go see this movie. I even posted, hey, I know it's become a meme and we're rolling our eyes, but this is actually a really cute movie. I think it's really good. It's nice to see. Is it a mid-budget rom-com? Also, who are the people friends with? Because everyone was in that movie. Every single person was in that movie. There was a moment where I was like, am I in this movie? Was I in this movie? Like, what? And at first I thought, oh, it's like there's one big one. And I was like, oh, it's like every now and then they're being like, hey, we got a big one. And then I was like, oh, this is a lot of big ones. Yeah. How much did that cost? Were these favors called in? Some people don't even make an actual appearance. It's just their photo. But even that is like, whoa, what? Everyone is in this movie.
I give it a 4.10 stars. And the reason why is because I gave The Odyssey and The Invite 4 stars, and I like Spider-Man a little more than that at 4.1 stars. I liked this as much as I liked Spider-Man. I want to see both of them again. It was good. It was enjoyable. It was a light, fun time. It was for those people who listen to this show that are looking for a movie it's not going to get a lot of fanfare. It's going to get swallowed up by Spider-Man that is already made $1 billion in like 6 days, and it's up against that again this weekend. If you're looking for something that's not that and you want to just go to the movies and feel the nostalgia of being at the movies in a simpler time, this is the film for you. This is the film for you. It's easy. It's right down the middle. It's enjoyable. I want to watch it again. I want to show it to a bunch of people. I want them all to watch it. I just really enjoyed it. I think it could have been a little shorter. I think they stretched the ending a little bit. That's the only reason why it's not getting like a 4.5 or even a 5-star rating, because there was a couple parts in which, especially at the end, where I was satisfied at one point and it kind of kept going a little bit, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes longer than I think it needed to.
I think it did a thing. Spoiler alert.
Don't actually spoil it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, do it without spoiling it, Jonquilyn.
There is a satisfaction you want to have in the movie that you kind of get but don't, and I think they tried to have it both ways.
I 100% agree.
And you know what? I understand why they had to have it both ways, because this particular element of movies we don't get anymore.
We really don't.
We don't. One time I was homesick and I watched Ghost for the first time, and I was like, we're not doing it like this anymore. Right. The angle, like, we're not doing it like this anymore. And I think we're still not doing it like this anymore. If we were, we'd be at a 5. But they were like, well, maybe we can just a little, like, we can be like, we know what the people want and we can give them a little of it. Maybe both ways. And it's like, you can't have it both ways.
I think there's one scene in particular, and you're right both ways. I think there's one scene in particular that just went like, I'll just say this. You either end the movie with a dance number or you end the movie with a time jump. You cannot end with both.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, I think the more ridiculous ending would have been the best one.
I think so too. I think
that would have been so funny, actually.
Yeah, I think you there in most rom-coms there's a scene where the person runs and it was you all along and they look at each other and they have a little kiss, and the classic ones will do the time jump right there and it's over, or you end on music, or you do the time jump and end with music in the time jump. You don't end with music and then fade out and then do a time jump. You just don't do that. And I think that's probably, we're out of practice. So I'll just say that we're out of practice, because at that point I was like, what are we doing here? I get it. I'm happy. Stop doing what you're doing. You're selling past the close, as they say. You've closed the deal. You don't need to keep selling anymore.
Yeah, I think we could have had a fun after credit scene.
Mid credits. Yes.
Lots of after and
Hitch did that. Hitch did that. They're dancing through the credits, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
With all those different people, I would have loved to see
outtake reel.
Yes.
In the credits.
Yes. And there are funny people in this movie.
I know they had some outtakes.
I know there's riffing. There's one with 2 actors where it's just like, what is this combination of people? LOL.
The cops.
Oh, I was thinking the guys at the bar.
The guys at the bar.
Jay Ellis.
Oh, yes. Another one. Yes.
Like, we're not riffing. We're not doing more with magic cards.
Okay, we're doing.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're out of the review. This is our normal drive home conversation we're having now. All right. With that, Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Rod Studios. I mixed this episode. We are now the second week past the big announcement that has been posted on Patreon, which has to do with the new podcast that I am producing. I've been working on it. I have done a lot of recording. I've done a lot of traveling. I just listened to the last available recorded tape today, and I highlighted it all, and now I have to write episodes and send them downstream to my editor and make sure that it is good. I am so excited about this. Every time I listen back to tape, I wonder, did I actually get it? And I realize that I have something. And now the writing is what takes it over the next edge to make it into the thing, the special that it's supposed to be. I am doing that, and today I went to the library and I was working, and I came here and I watched the screening, and then I recorded this episode. I'll go home, I'll download this, I'll do a lot of writing tomorrow morning and arranging and thinking and dreaming. I'll do all of that tomorrow and more of it on Thursday, and then I'll do more on Saturday. I have a lot of work, and I'm excited about the work. It is truly a labor of love to work for Oh It's Big Ron Studios, but it's still labor. If that means something to you, go to patreon.com/ohitsbigron or go to the link in our show notes. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about One Night Only or Jonquilyn Hill, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, or Letterboxd at Oh It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studios shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, friend. This was great. Give Ronald your money so he can make cool stuff.
I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm thinking about soup dumplings.